Hello, FlossTube. This is scienceknitster, Deborah. And it is November 29th, Sunday, November 29th. It's in the morning. And I'm here in South Texas, and we just had a cold front come through last night. So it was close to the high 50s, low 60s this morning. And the wind's been out of the north. So I'm looking out our window right here. I'm at our house in Corpus Christi, trying a new location that I hope has better light. Anyway, I'm looking out the window and it's still looking pretty windy out there. The sun's starting to come out, but it's chilly for us here in South Texas this morning, I must say. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer. I know I've had a few new subscribers since my last video, so thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy today's episode. Excuse my slurping. Oh, and we have the kitty cat might make an appearance. She appears to be interested in what's going on. So, this is a channel about, mainly about cross stitch, which is why I call it FlossTube. But I also do other crafts like knitting and weaving and spinning and all kinds of needlework, embroidery, needlepoint. My problem is I like everything I try. So I think we might be trying some punch needle in the next year. I don't know. We'll have to see. I thought I'd start with what I've been working on since my last video. And I've shown this a couple of times now. This is a collaboration between Heartstring Samplery and Plum Street Samplers. And I'm working on the Heartstring Samplery part. My friend Susan and I are, excuse me for hanging threads there. I put it aside to work on something else and didn't pull the thread to the back side. My friend Susan and I are working on these. This is 36 count beige Weeks Dye Works, and I'm pretty sure it's old Weeks Dye Works, but that's fine. And so we are working on these two. So right now we're working on this one. So these are the Sewn In Friendship pair from Heartstring Samplery and Plum Street Samplers. So we're each stitching this part right now, and hopefully we'll be done by Christmas. We had originally planned to get together for Christmas, but because we normally do that around Christmas, we usually get together and spend Christmas, my husband and I, with Susan and her husband, since our family's back east. And so anyway, we've been doing that for a number of years, but I think because of COVID numbers increasing, especially in the Austin area right now, we are not going to do that, but we shall see. We're keeping an eye on the situation. Anyway, that's why did I digress? Because we were going to switch at Christmas time and then stitch the other half on the part that we got from each other. So when we're done, we each have a half that was stitched by the other person and a half that was stitched by ourselves. So I think it will be a wonderful commemoration of our long friendship, which actually started over stitching. So, and then moved into other crafts, like especially knitting and spinning and weaving. It's all Susan's fault. Okay, now I always wanted to try those things anyway. She just aided and abetted me. Okay, so the main thing, I worked on that a little bit. The main thing I've been working on the last 2 weeks since my last video is Ann Roberts. This is on 36 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works. It was a piece that was specifically cut for this project. I bought it from Sassy Jack's back, I forget when, back in May or June or before, after the COVID started. And I'm using my own over-dyed threads conversion that I've been tweaking as I go. And in fact, right now, one of the things I'm doing, I actually had gotten farther over here and then realized I'd made a mistake and there was no way to compensate it. So I had to tear it out and start over. It's probably, let me see if I can get this. It looks, it's hard to, well, I think you can tell. So I'm auditioning two different overdyes down here. The bottom one is a limited edition Gentle Arts that I don't have a name for. And then the one above it is tarnished gold. But I started putting in the tarnished gold, which is what I had chosen for that particular color. And it wasn't quite what I was hoping for. So I decided to try a few others. So Ann Roberts is a Hands Across the Sea sampler. It is our Sampler Years group on Facebook is doing this one as a stitch along this year, and I didn't join it until September, so I'm trying to catch up. I'd like to have it finished by the end of the year so that I can join the new 2021 Martha Dawson sampler stitch along with a clear conscience. Not that it really matters, but I did want to really finish this one this year. Anyway, so I'm looking for something for this color, and I'm not entirely happy with either one of those yet, but I may look for another color. The problem is most of my overdyes are at my apartment in Brownsville. And I'm not sure if I'll get back down there before Christmas or not. I might, or I might not. I teach at a college down there, and we are on remote instruction right now. I'm also department chair, so I've kind of felt like I need to be around, even though I don't really need to be. Some of the other department chairs aren't even in town right now, so. Oldest child responsibility gene or whatever. I don't know what it is, but anyway, so I'm fairly happy with my progress. I was hoping to be a little bit farther along with Ann Roberts, but she's coming along. Probably the main thing that could keep me from finishing her this year is that for the first time, I'm not sure if it's the first time for the college, but it's the first time for my department. We're offering courses in what we're calling a winter mini term. And so they start December 14th and go through January 8th. And the dean wanted my department to offer a biology course and a math course. We got somebody to teach the math course, but I'm a biologist, and there wasn't anyone who was interested in teaching the biology course, so I'm it. And that would be every day except for a couple days around Christmas and a couple days around New Year. So we'll see. We'll see if that course actually makes. What else have I been working on? Well, I've really only been working on one other thing, and that is Turkey Trot by Bendy Stitchy. And see my notes there. I was making some notes on the stitch count and what size I needed for what size piece of linen I needed for the count that I chose. So I decided instead of trying to get the linen that is called for, which I forget what it is, it's a Picture This Plus, which is a really pretty blue-green. I decided I had just ordered, and I don't know why I ordered it. maybe, I don't think I ordered it specifically for this. I just liked it. This is 36 count indigo from Luminous Fiber Arts, Misty Purcell. And I just love her fabrics and her colors. So I had ordered this and decided, let's try Turkey Trot on this. And I'm really loving how it's coming out. So this is charted with DMCs. And here are the DMCs. I put them on thread drops a la Nicole's needlework. Thanks, Nicole, for that idea. And it was in one of her floss tubes earlier this year. Anyway, so I'm very pleased with how it's coming along. So I got in the head and then the black on the body. There's a little bit more black down here, but so I started this. I think I showed this in my last, no, I didn't show this in my last video, but I did start it recently, about a week ago, I think. Before I came here, so it was probably last weekend or about maybe a week before Thanksgiving. Thinking it was Thanksgiving week, start the Thanksgiving things. I'm a very seasonal stitcher. Anyway, it's a long-winded way of saying I started this recently. I forget the exact date. I posted on Instagram and I have it in my X Stitcher app, and I forgot to look before I started this, so bad me. But anyway, I started it recently and just got a little bit done on the head, and then I've been working on it. I picked it up. I don't think I worked on Wednesday. No, Wednesday I worked on Ann Roberts. So Thursday, Friday, and a good chunk of yesterday, Saturday, I worked on this. So I'm pretty pleased with my project progress. Wish I'd gotten a little bit farther because this is going to go away probably until next fall. But hopefully I'll finish it. Maybe I'll try to get it out end of October and see if I can get it finished in time to fully finish it before next Thanksgiving. That's pretty much all I've been working on. Since I'm here at our house in Corpus Christi, I thought I would show, see my last video or the one before that, I showed some of my fall stitchery, and it was October, so I hadn't gotten out any of the Thanksgiving specific stitchery yet. And I have just a few items that are specifically for Thanksgiving, but I thought I would show those. First up, finished as a box. I did not do this finishing. This one, I'm pretty sure it was my friend and fellow Embroider Guild member when I used to belong to Austin, the Austin Stitchery Guild, Kim Holyfield. She at least did at the time finishing. I'm not sure if she's still doing finishing. So I stitched this in 2005. This is one of the Bent Creek zippers. I don't think this one is available anymore. I don't remember seeing it. I didn't look on Hoffman's site to see if it was still available, but I don't think it is. But anyway, so it's Giving Thanks. I think it's really cute. And excuse me. And then this was from when I was doing a lot of needlepoint around, I still do it off and on. So this was from the early 2000s. And I'll show you, I found the magazine that it was from. So this is from Stitcher's World magazine, September 2001. I'll show you that in a second. This is Happy Turkey Day. There's a lot of different needlepoint stitches. Some of these stitches are also used sometimes in cross stitches, specialty stitches. It's a variety of threads. Like this is a Rainbow Gallery, and one of their ones that comes across a little bit fuzzy, and then there's some Krynic. This is Needle Necessity, which is now Threadworks, but I'm not sure if they still make this color. And then I think some of these are DMC. These are, this is another Rainbow Gallery thread. I forget which one of their ribbon-like ones. I think this is a Needle Necessity or it's a DMC, I'm not sure. So this is on canvas, and I'll look it up here. I don't remember off the top of my head what canvas, but I'm sure I used, back then I was pretty much called for. That's all I did. So I'm pretty sure that's what everything in here is what was called for. So this guy, actually I had it finished by the Needleworks. That's where I took my first needlepoint classes, at the Needleworks in Austin. New owners are different owners now, but still in business. And I think they were pretty much just needlepoint, but I think they carry a lot of flosses and so forth for cross stitch nowadays. Okay, excuse me again. I'm gonna put this back there. Actually, I'm gonna lay him down. He's weighted. So this is the Stitcher's World that, so I keep these in a binder. This is the Stitcher's World, September 2001, that the turkey is in. So let me find him. There's a lot of other cool stuff in here. I really liked this magazine because it had both cross stitch and it often would showcase like painted canvases, but then it would give you a cross stitch version of it, or for some of the canvas stuff, there would be patterns that would let you count. Okay, and of course I didn't actually, where did it go? Okay, I know it's in here, it's just the page is gone. So like this one here, Santa Arctic and Arctic Friends, I believe there was a painted canvas that was the same. So it was nice because, you know, so this one, it says for cross stitch, for needlepoint. For some of these, it would give a cross stitch pattern, so it actually has a pattern in here. And then it would give you basically a stitch guide if you wanted to get the painted canvas. And why am I not finding this turkey? I know it's in here because it said so on the cover. And I'm just not finding it. And I should have marked it. I'm sure it was marked, and then after I stitched it, I unmarked it. And I am not finding it. Well, anyway, it's in here. I'm gonna look one more time. Flashy frock and feathers. Christmas. Oh, right from the beginning. That's how I kept missing it. Okay, so the designer is Gail Martin, and here's her version of it. So you can see I pretty much chose to do what she did, except that I finished it had it finished as a stand-up. But then I'm gonna see if I can show this without showing the chart. So here would be a cross-stitch version. Right, so this was one of the ones that it's both cross stitch and needlepoint. So so that was 18 count ecru canvas, and the threads were several needle necessities, Rainbow Gallery, and then and some Kreinik, and the rest was DMC. So so that is Tom Turkey. And then the last Thanksgiving themed stitchery that I wanted to show you, see that, you can see the reflection of my coffee cup in there, and some other things I'm going to show you. Let's see if I can. So, so this is another Bent Creek zipper. I don't remember the name of this one. I believe the frame was the one that was called for. I had it framed at Ginger's Needle Arts and Framing, which unfortunately is no longer in business. But this is, again, I'm not sure that this kit is still available. But there you have it. So that's my Thanksgiving stitchery. I did have one other thing I wanted to show you. It was a Thanksgiving gift from my husband. My husband is a flower farmer. He grows flowers right out there, and then he has another plot, another part of town, where he also grows some vegetables, kind of tied over him. And he tries to grow things that other people aren't growing. But anyway, one of the other vendors at the 2 local farmers markets he sells at is Love is a Seed. And they make beautiful earrings and other jewelry. They even make things like, what do they call them? Oh, they're little things you can put on your wine glass if it has a stem on it, so that you can tell which glass is yours. It's basically wine glass jewelry. I forget what they might have a special name for it. Anyway, so I thought these candy corns were so cute. I did not wear them on the day because he gave them to me the day after because he forgot. But they made some kind of trade, like some of his flowers for some earrings. Last year I bought from them some peppermint, the things that look like the round peppermints. And I'll show those when we get closer to Christmas. I'll get those out and be wearing them. But definitely I will wear these next fall. We're still kind of fall. I haven't decorated for Christmas yet. We try to observe the religious season. So really now it's Advent, not Christmas. But I do, after December 1st, I do get out. I start getting out some of the winter stuff that I've done, and some of it is rather Christmassy. But anyway, so this is Love is a Seed. They do have an Etsy shop. I encourage you to check them out. I'm not sure if they ship outside the United States. I know some of my viewers are from other countries, but you could check and see. So their shop on Etsy is Love is a Seed. I'll try to put a link down in the description area, but I haven't been real good about I haven't had much time lately and to do these things, so I haven't really been putting anything in the description box. But I will try to put these guys because they're lovely people and they make beautiful stuff. And we all need beautiful stuff. I've been trying to talk them into making stitch markers because I love blingy stitch markers. Although I can make my own, but still. Okay, so that's my stitchery, my Thanksgiving stitchery. What I thought I'd do next is first show you some whips that I'm thinking about working on in December. Although it might be between preparing for and teaching that winter term course, if I end up having to teach it, it's partly prepared. I just need to make it better for remote instruction because we actually just found out, the winter term courses we knew were going to be remote, but we found out Tuesday. We found out Tuesday that we're going to be remote through the spring, which I think most of my faculty are happy about. There's just things are still too much up in the air, and COVID seems to be spiking here in Texas again. So far in our area of the Rio Grande Valley where my college is, there's been a slight increase, but nothing like what we had in the summer. That was really bad. Late spring or through early August. It got really bad where we were. Hospitals were getting full and it was horrible. Anyway, so I have a couple of whips that I've started previously that I want to show you. And then I have a bunch of stuff that I've kitted, some of which I have purchased recently or since my last video. So I'm going to kind of mix in haul and things that I've kitted up. So probably do some, I think the way I have things arranged, I'm first going to show you Christmas whips and then some haul, and then get into what I've kitted up that I'd like to work on during December. But as I've said, I really want to finish Ann Roberts, and so she might take precedence. And since for me, Christmas really begins Christmas Eve, and runs through early January, the Christmas season, I keep stitching on Christmas until the middle of January, because that's when the Catholic Christmas season ends. So, okay, so number one that I'd like to really get some progress on is Kringles. I think this is just so beautiful. It's a Little House Needleworks, and I saw a like a little pre-release video, and I knew Judy of Judy's Stitchery Nook, my local needlework shop down in the valley, in the Rio Grande Valley in Harlingen, Texas. I knew she was at market, and so like, are you gonna get some of these? I want one. Thread pack too. So so she got some for the shop. I think they sold out right away too. At least the thread packs did. So anyway, this is Kringles, and I decided to do it on 40 count because I'm a glutton for punishment. Actually, part of it was because I didn't want it to be hugely huge, because I'm planning to make a wall hanging out of it, a quilted wall hanging. And again, I've got threads hanging off here. Oh, and I left a needle in there. Ah, bad me. So I just got a little bit started on the roof back in the summer or spring, whenever I started on this. Again, I've got it written down. I just didn't look. I'm doing it on 40 count. Picture this plus sterling. So one thread over two. I'm using the called for. And I'd really like to make some progress on this. I know I'm not going to finish it this year, but I tell a lie, wrote a little note to myself, because I'm stitching this on 40 count, and the original was stitched, I believe, on, what was it stitched on? 30 count. Instead of using the Oversois gold that it calls for, which is like a braid, a size 4 braid would be similar to Kreinik 4, I think. I'm using Kreinik blending filament, a gold blending filament. I write little notes to myself because sometimes I steal, especially DMC, I'll steal it out of one project to work on another project. So, and I leave myself a little note where I stuck it. So I don't go looking like, okay, I thought I had all the threads, and where did it go? Okay. So that's that one. So I'd really, like I said, I'd really like to get some, and I was thinking about maybe start working on it a little bit each week starting December 1st, but I'm probably going to be working on Ann Roberts and see if I can get her done. I may pick this up and work on it a little bit if I get tired of Ann Roberts. This is, let's see, when did I start this one? I started this one a while ago. And my threads are all a mess because that was I started this before I started putting them on rings, and I'm out of rings the right size. So this is Glory to God. I'm going to show a picture. This is so I bought a kit from Just Cross Stitch quite a few years ago. They had a bunch of them on sale. And so this is Glory to God in the highest. Or just Glory to God. It's a Little House Needleworks. It's from the Just Cross Stitch Ornament issue 2008. So a while. I am stitching it on the called for with the called for threads because, as I mentioned, I purchased a kit from Just Cross Stitch that had everything in it, including all the stuff for finishing. So this is for the back. This is a Weeks Dye Works wool. And so I know I worked, I forget when I started this, but I know I worked on it some last Christmas. I finished another little house, one of her designs that, and I forget the name of it, but it was a little gingerbread man. And then I went back working on this. Or maybe I started, no, I'm sure I started this before last Christmas. But I remember working on this at Susan's, and I did take it out a few times this spring for Mary 25th stitching. But that was before I started doing my own FlossTube. Okay, so those are 2 whips, Christmas whips. The Glory to God has been in the works for at least a year, more likely a few years. So, and I'm really close to finishing that one. So maybe I'll focus on that. Okay, some haul. Okay, I'm just in love with Missy Purcell stuff. So I bought the kit for her Christmas in the Kitchen series. So let me open this up and show you what's in it. And this has been opened several times. I just love looking at this stuff. Okay, although I love my samplers, I love other things too. So this is tea. And I decided to get the paper charts so I could share them with Susan and not feel guilty. And then this one is gingerbread. I just love gingerbread. Actually, gingerbread people, gingerbread houses. And this one is, so I'm definitely going to stitch these 2 because, well, tea. I love teapots and teacups. Although I do drink coffee, for the longest time I preferred tea, and didn't really drink much coffee because I don't like coffee without lots of stuff in it, like sugar. That's bad for you, and then, or too much of it is bad for you. And then the gingerbread again, and candy canes. So it's Mrs. Claus and some reindeer. That is so cute. And then cocoa. Who doesn't love cocoa? So I haven't decided. I'm probably not going to finish these exactly the way she has them finished. Susan and I were talking about how we could get a similar effect and use the rickrack because it. Okay, true confession. I didn't look carefully at what was in the kit, and I normally finish my ornaments as flat, and you just make my own cording. Or get Susan to make it for me. And so I probably wouldn't use the rickrack, but we were talking. We actually got together last Monday. She and her husband were in town, so I had my husband set up a table in the driveway. So we decided we were going to be responsible and socially distanced. And so even though we were outside and we were at opposite ends of this very long table, we still wore our masks, and we sat and stitched and actually I knitted for a slight bit for an hour or 2. I think it was 2, but it was fun to do that in person. So this is the fabric. It's faded denim. She did the models on 32 count. I bought the kit with 36. Couldn't remember if it was 36 or 40. Because I remember debating. Or maybe she didn't have 40. I don't remember. But then also, so you got the snowflakes. And then the Lady Duck Creates Rick Rack. So anyway, since it came in the kit, I was, Susan and I were talking about, well, how could we do the finishing? Because we don't use glue in our finishing. Normally, when we make ornaments, we just sew everything together, lace it on. And then there's the thread pack with the overdyes. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I love this combination of colors. And then on the blue fabric, I think it's very pretty. So So that's that. And I'm just going to put this aside and put it all back later. Now that I've gotten it all out of there. Okay, so that was the latest thing from Misty. Oh, and at the same time, I also purchased some more, a different color that I hadn't seen in her shop before. This is soft porcelain. I believe she uses it for some of her little bluebird patterns. But it's a beautiful, this would be great for a sampler too, I think. So I got it 40 count. This is a fat quarter. But just very, very, very faint modeling. It's coming, let's see, oh, that makes it lighter. Maybe right there is, it's still coming across a little bit lighter than it is in real life. But another beautiful, neutral, from Luminous Fiber Arts, Misty Purcell. She's got an Etsy shop. If you haven't checked her out before, I highly recommend that you do. She ships really fast. And she teaches at Penn State and State College. So it's kind of cool to be able to support another academic. Okay, so in addition to making that purchase from Misty, I went a little crazy, and Judy at Judy's Stitchery Nook keeps a little stash going for me, and when I go into the shop, I'll purchase some stuff from my stash along with whatever else I went into the shop to purchase. So I decided, since I wasn't sure I was going to be back in the Valley before Christmas, and at least here in Texas, at the end of the year, shop owners have to pay tax on their inventory. So they have to do an inventory, and then, yeah. So I decided to go ahead and purchase everything. Plus, so I think I just gone in for a few threads that I needed. Yeah, a few more thread. I think I needed a few more threads for Martha Dawson and some of the other stuff I was kitting up. So I went and pretty much cleaned out what she had waiting for me. And that included the last two of the Little House Needleworks Little Sheep Virtue. So this is Gratitude number 11 and Joyful number 12, and the buttons. And these are actually the buttons for another one that I bought earlier, which she didn't have the buttons, and I forgot to pick them up another time. So I'm actually going to put all of these together in a setting with Country Cottage, Sheep in the Meadow, and I'm at least gonna start with the Pat Carson setting. You can find it. Somebody can usually provide a link to it or a copy of it in the Little House Needleworks and Country Cottage Needleworks group on Facebook. I actually haven't been in there in a while, which reminds me, I need to go check them out because I really love their stuff. Very country and primitive. They were always my favorite ornaments in the cross stitch ornament issue. Anyway, I'm going to put these together with that. I haven't decided like I'm going to do the colors or anything like that. I know other people that have done it, they've changed the colors. I haven't decided anything yet, even what count I'm going to do it on. Probably close. I think these were done on 30 count originally, or 32. I'll probably do it close, even though I'm now mainly stitching on 36 and 40. I'll probably do it on 32, especially if I have some in my stash, something suitable in my stash. Because of the buttons, I would like to put the buttons on, although I don't think most of the people that are stitching it all together have have done the buttons too. But. Okay, so another thing I picked up was the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. I love the Hawk Run Hollows, and I just, for some reason, well, I ended up buying, for some reason, 2 of Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and I had Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, but I hadn't picked up some of the other ones. And since my husband is a flower farmer, I decided I really needed to do the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. And I'll probably, when I do finally get to stitching this one, I probably will finish it as a wall hanging that he can just put on the wall. That'll be a gift for him. And then I also picked up Consider the Lilies. I had already bought his Eyes on the Sparrow. I'd really like to start his Eyes on the Sparrow in 2021 and work on it a little bit each month. I'm waiting for the fabric that I want to use, which I think is a 36 or 40, I think 36 count. The called for linen, I forget what the color for his Eyes on the Sparrow. It was supposed to already ship from Rogue Stitching because I bought it back in their Christmas in July sale. So I need to get in touch with them and find out why it hasn't shipped yet. I know Picture This Plus is behind, and they had sent out an email. Rogue Stitching and Hanging Thread they're somehow related. I think they're really the same company. Anyway, they had sent out an email, I think it's August or early September, saying that Picture This Plus was behind, but they said it wasn't going to affect the Christmas in July, so I need to find out what's going on. And I need to see if I can get the shipping location changed because it's going to go to Brownsville, and I'm not sure I'm going to be there now when it comes. If they had shipped when they said, I would have been there. So I also picked up Anne Gardner, 1723. It's a lovely Hands Across the Sea sampler. Really, really like this one. I'm not sure when I'll stitch it because I've got a lot of Hands Across the Sea on my plate coming up. I also bought some of the recent PDFs. I haven't printed out the covers yet, so I'm not going to show them today. And Mary Ann Diaper, which was a release this year. And I finally decided I need to stop asking Judy to order them as soon as I see them, because if I wait a few weeks, another one that I want will come out. Just get a whole bunch at one time. So beautiful, lovely. Again, don't know when I'm going to stitch this one. I just like to get these out and look at them. Okay, and then I had mentioned that I have the Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow pattern, so I'm just showing it. This is not haul. I bought this a while ago. Actually bought it from Ginger. But Judy still had some of the special cuts of the Lakeside linen. And this is the 40 count for this one. So this is is this light exemplar or exemplar? Exemplar, 40 count exemplar from Lakeside Linens. So beautiful neutral. I really wanted to kit this up and start it this year, but then I was like, Kringles, you need to finish Kringles before you start this one. Well, maybe not finish, but make some headway. So I'm thinking next Christmas, I'm gonna start this one. Okay, so that's all my main haul from Judy. Oh, there was one other piece of haul, which actually I'll show as part of my first, what I kitted up. Okay, So I get this digitally, but I really like to have the physical copy too. So this is the special winter/Christmas issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. And so the first thing I want to show you, and of course I didn't mark anything, but there's so many things in here I want to stitch, and I'm sure I won't get to any of them this year. Like this one, this is Cecilia Turner, who is Heart and Hand, her etching. I would love to do all of those. Lindy Stitches has a cute little, okay, get with the program, Deb. Okay, so one of the things I kitted up from this issue, okay, is, I'm going to show this first. Where did she go? Ah, she's way back at the back. Okay, so one of the things I kitted up, just because I loved the colors, and I love her stuff in general, is Barbara Anner's Christmas Ride. And I think this is it's on Vintage Country Mocha, 32 count. I don't have any of that, so I decided I have some light mocha that I had in my stash that I was going to stitch one of the Lizzie Kate things on. It's a fat quarter, so I'm sure I have plenty. So I'm gonna use this instead. And this is 32 count, and then it calls for 32 count. And oops. And here are the called for threads. And I had all these bobbinated, so I just left them that way. I'm now using, as you saw when I showed Turkey Trot, I'm now putting my floss on drops, homemade drops. But so there's the colors. All her stuff's always so colorful. So hopefully I can at least get that started sometime during my extended Christmas season. Then another thing that I kitted up from the same issue, and I remember seeing this one way near the beginning, is Misty Purcell's Comfort and Joy. I think I might have shown this one last time that I was going to kit it up. She did it on 40 count Sparrow, the model, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't have any, I did put a piece in there. So I did actually fully kit it up. And these are all DMCs. So I pulled all the DMCs. I'm going to use the darker gray and put a little bit of a crest on this guy, because here in Texas, at least some parts of Texas, our tufted titmice, which are one of my favorite birds, have a black crest. And people here in Texas like to say it's a different species. As a geneticist, I say that could be a single gene trait. I want to see the data. My husband is of the philosophy, he's also a biologist by training, of the philosophy that if he's seen it, it's a different species. As a geneticist, an evolutionary biologist, I say, no, I want to see the data. So here's the call for DMC. So again, I'm hoping I get a chance to at least get started on that one during the Christmas season. More likely if that winter term class does not make. Because there's one thing that I've kitted up that I am absolutely positively going to start on. I'm going to start it on Christmas Day and try to get it done by next Christmas. And that is Blackbird Designs Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, because I live in South Texas. I have to. It's moral imperative. I have to have something that says Feliz Navidad. I actually have quite a few things that say Joyeux Noël, because my husband's family is originally from France many generations ago. It's coming up on 300 years in North America. They moved to Quebec first, and then Ontario. And then his grandfather moved to Buffalo, and eventually Erie, Pennsylvania. So I'm using the Called For Linens Legacy. Picture This Plus Legacy. And the Called For Overdyes. I think it's going to be beautiful. So I'm excited to start that one. I said I'm pretty sure I'm going to start at Christmas Day. Maybe work on it for several days. Unless I'm not finished with Ann Roberts yet, and then I might just work on it Christmas Day. Try to finish Ann Roberts and then come back to this. So, beautiful, beautiful. Got a couple more things here. And then I have some of my Christmas stitchery to show you. Where I've decided I just need to stop worrying about how long these are, because apparently plenty of people like watching long videos. Unlike me, who prefers to watch shorter ones. I like to watch all at one time. But there's some long ones I watch too, so. I was just thinking more people would watch if I kept them short. But. Okay, well, something weird happened with my printer on this one. This is a recent purchase from Michelle Bendy Stitchy. Oh, shoot. I was going to look and see if she had released this yet. I was following her on YouTube, and I actually joined. And I just stopped so I can switch over to Patreon, because I'm a Patreon for some knitters, knitwear designers, and the Yarn Worker, which is a weaving thing. And I would prefer to have everything in one place. Plus, I couldn't get PayPal to work, and I prefer to use PayPal, so I'd have to give up my credit card information. Anyway. Two Snowbirds it's either going to come out soon or is a recent release. You could check her Etsy shop. And anyway, I'm thinking doing this on one of my Misty Purcell recent purchases, but all in one color, perhaps using this limited edition Gentle Arts cranberry garland. It's variegated. Thinking about it, except maybe the snowflakes. I might do the snowflakes in white. I don't know. Just thinking about it, because I think this design could lend itself to being all one color. And so, if not the garland, then cranberry garland, then maybe a more solid color. Perhaps this this one doesn't have a name. Perhaps this is another special limited edition, or maybe this green. This is Boughs of Holly, another special edition. These came out several years ago. I used to get a bunch of their limited edition things every year in the Silver Needle annual New Year's Eve day sale. Leave that out. I'm also, and I forgot to get the picture out. She also has her other Christmas one, Trimming the Tree, that's been out for a while. I was planning to stitch in. I was thinking of doing it on that indigo, the same turkey trot, but then when I was checking my order with Rogue Stitching, I remembered that I bought some Nocturne, which is a dark blue Picture This Plus that is what's called for. It's like, well, then what I'm going to use that for if I use Misty's indigo. So that's probably not going to get started this year, because the way things are going, I'm thinking I'm not going to get that fabric before Christmas. Okay, so I kitted those up. I collected the DMCs for Trimming the Tree. They're here. I think there's a couple other colors that are part of other things. And I have notes on the pattern that say, I didn't print out the cover page on that one. And I forgot to set up my phone with the picture, and I don't want to take the time to do it. Another thing that I kitted up is, let's see, where did it go? This Christmas cat, Bent Creek. Oh, I bought this a long time ago. I forget when it came out. It's the kit. It's not really a kit, but it did have, so these here are beads. And so this is the chart and the beads. Did not come with any fabric or threads. So I've decided I'm going to use this 40 count angel hair because I think I bought this at Judy's. It's Weeks Dye Works. I think it's a good match for the picture. The called for is darker, and I don't remember what the called for is. It's like a 28 or 32 count, something or other. Not this, not angel hair, definitely. And then pulling the threads. Oop, I forgot to put these on a ring. I don't remember which of these are the called for. I'm using some of the called for, like I think these. And then for the cat itself, the called for is tarnished gold, which, oh, that version of tarnished gold might work in my Ann Roberts. It has, some of these colors have changed quite a bit. I think flax is called for. Oh, flax is called for in the color. So I'm going to use that. And I don't remember what. Yeah, so it was tarnished gold, which I like this lighter kitty. So I'm thinking about using Schneckly from Weeks Dye Works instead. I think it's a little bit closer. It's still darker, but a little bit closer. And a little bit closer to my orange kitty that is no longer with us. So, again, something I was hoping to get to this year that, depending on how things go with Ann Roberts and my class, my potential winter term class, may not get to it this year. One more. Now this I am going to stitch on come hell or high water. The Stitching Book Club, A Christmas Carol. She actually had kits, which I didn't get because I wanted to stitch on my own fabric. So it called for DMCs, and I have most of them here. And just because that's kind of long, it's because I'm planning to stitch this on a 28 or 32 count. So I double it over. And just because this was Christmas, and then and because I'm not actually going to get to caterpillar cross stitches, Hello Dear this year, probably in January, I put her needle minder that I bought for Hello Dear, and I'm going to use it with this. And this is the fabric I'm thinking about, either Picture This Plus Mellow. So these are 28 count, and that's what it called for. My husband just came in from the garage. So this Mellow. Oops, Mellow. Which I'm leaning towards. Or Sand. This is, these are some Picture This Plus I had from several years ago when Susan and I were in their club. Okay, Susan was in the club and I had to copy her. The full story. And I think, oh yeah, there's another green in here that I have to put in here. I think I have a empty card for it. Yes, 731. Oh, and 730. So 2 more colors that I need to put in here. Yeah, 2 greens. So I need to put those in there. I bought them at Judy's and didn't get a chance to put them in yet. Forgot I needed to do that. Hopefully I brought those with me. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I don't usually show all the threads that I buy at Judy's unless I do a video right after I've been there, because I tend to put the overdyes and X-Stitcher and my DMCs into my collection as quickly as they come into my hot little hands. Or actually, oh, I think I remember now. I forgot to put these on my list for when I went shopping at Judy's. So I need to see if I have those colors here. That's what it was. Because I remember, I was like, oh, I forgot, I didn't put those on my list. Like, why didn't I buy those? Then I realized they weren't on my list. Okay, so this is going to be a long one, and if you're waiting for the Science Corner, or what I formerly called my public service announcement, there isn't going to be one this time because this is going to be pretty long already. But I promise I will do one in my next video, because I didn't do one last time either. Okay, so now I want to show you some more Stitchery. These are things that I'm going to put out after December 1st, when I take down all the fall and Thanksgiving. I usually do that on a weekend, so it might be next weekend before I actually get to it. So this is another Bent Creek zipper. It's one of their snow globes. And I remember the name of this one, but obviously it's a cardinal. One of my husband's favorite birds used to be the cardinal. Now it's hard, like he says everything is his favorite bird, so I don't know. Okay, so I need to make some room here. Everything's gonna come tumbling down. Excuse me. Okay. So Susan finished that one for me as a snow globe. I actually have another one that I want to finish as a snow globe that I finished stitching last year. So that one I finished stitching in 2008. Oh, and it's got Thimbleberries fabric on the back. And so I first started doing these having these finished as these little snow globes. So this one I think Kim finished for me, Kim Holyfield. I stitched this in 2004. I think I probably had her finish it right away. Back then I was getting things. And then, so that was the penguin. I stitched this one for my husband because he loves penguins. He's not seen penguins in the wild. I'm sure he would love to, but he's not. This one, I finished the stitching in 2003. So I think this is like Cabin in the Woods or something like that. And just a cute Christmassy fabric on the back. I'm sure Susan finished this one for me. And then this is another one that Kim finished for me. This is, let's see, I stitched this in 2004. That's when I was in the Silver Needle Secret Needle Night Club. I was in it for like a year or two. And now I just occasionally, I stitched most of them that I got when I was in the club, but there would be months where I'd be like, so I decided not to renew, I think the third time. And now I just go and look, and if I really want it, I'll try to order it before they sell out. So sometimes they do sell out. So this is Let It Snow. I think it was like the January one that year. So maybe it actually came out in December of 2003. And then I stitched it that January. And then I had Kim finish it as a box. Okay, the next few are some framed things that I'm going to be putting out. So you can see most of these are more winter themed than Christmas. This is another Bent Creek zipper. Don't remember the name of it. All of these zippers, I should say, were 18 count. With some of them are with DMC. I don't think any of these are. I think all of these are with pearl cotton. I went back and forth over which I liked better. So this one I finished in 2009, and I had it framed at Ginger's Needle Arts and Framing. Let's put that up there. I'm making a mess here that I'm gonna have to clean up when I'm done. Another Bent Creek zipper. A lot of these are Bent Creek zippers. Finished this one in 2000. It's like 2004. This one, yeah, this one, yes, I did. This one I did when we were living in Virginia. And so I had it framed at Artist's Choice in Blacksburg, Virginia. I don't even know if they're still there. This one was DMC, at least some of it, because you can see that's obviously the house part is in DMC, but the snow is pearl cotton. So some of them were, the kits were a mixture. And I got to the point where if it didn't come all in one or the other, I would make sure I would replace. And so this is Winter, another zipper. I finished this one in 2002 and had it framed by Ginger's Needle Arts and Framing. I don't think any of these were the frame that that it was originally done in. Oh, except maybe the next one. And then another zipper. This one I finished, looks like 2005. And this one I had framed at Ginger's Needle Arts and Framing. And then this last one is a Lizzie Kate. I showed the autumn one a few floss tubes ago. This is on either, I'm trying to remember what, this was a kit that came with the fabric and the button as well as the little chart. It sort of snippet sized. Boxers, one of her boxers, I think. But she did a whole series of houses. I showed the autumn one. This is the winter one. Even though it does have a little bit of a Christmas flavor, I leave it up all winter. And I think these were either 25 or 28 count. And then you had to provide your own flosses. Most of them were a mixture of overdyes, either Weeks Dye Works or Gentle Arts or some combination, and DMC. I probably still have the chart somewhere. And again, I meant to look up what that was, but I forgot. I think you can probably see them all still on Lizzie Kate's blog site. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show, and then I'll be done for today. I got the idea from watching a couple of recent recent videos by Emily C. Eclectic Possessions on Instagram. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. She showed a couple of charts that she wanted to do out of a cross stitch Christmas, and I actually, unfortunately, the one that she has, I don't actually have that one because I stopped collecting them in about 2013. But I have about 11 or 12 of them. I'm not going to show all of them. I just wanted to show a couple of the early ones and then some of the later ones, and show just a couple of things in each one that I liked. Anyway, so I had been collecting these for a number of years. So this is the first one I have, I believe. This is the oldest one I have, from 1997. And I actually have stitched things from a couple of these, but mostly not. So this is Share the Joy from 1997. Some of these older ones you can still get. I was looking for the one that Emily showed, and I did find it on Amazon Marketplace for way too much money. I hope Emily didn't pay that much. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember thinking, holy cow. No, not paying that much. It was either over 50 or over 100. I can't remember. The originals, like the early ones, were about $25. By the time I stopped getting them, they were about $35. So one of the ones, what I really liked about these is that they weren't just cross stitch. So this one here really caught my eye, and it, you know, it's got specialty stitches. This is actually hardanger, some hardanger in there, like the heart, and the stuff at the top and the stuff at the bottom are all hardanger. And then the trees are all done in a, is it a Krynic? Yeah, they're Krynic braid. But there's lots of cute stuff in these, you know, like these. It's a red sampler type thing. Merry Christmas to all. I think it was mainly that hardanger one that caught my eye. Sometimes I like the Santas. I like, as you'll see when I show my Christmas stuff, I like to do Santas. I like to do nativities. I don't have a lot of them, but I do like to do nativities also. Especially the earlier years, you would see designs by like Lizzie Kate, Bent Creek. I'll show a couple of those. So, and then the next one I'm going to show, I think this is the 1998 Timeless Treasures. Let me see. No, sorry, this one's from 2000, and I decided to show this one because one of the ones that I really liked, a couple of the ones that I really liked. So I've stitched this one. I haven't fully finished it. I stitched it a number of years ago. Have a Merry Little Christmas. I would love to finish it like this, but I haven't figured out how to do that. So I think I'm just going to do it like as a door hanger. Anyway. That was on the list to get finished last year when I was at Susan's, but it never happened. And then I've done this one. I'll Be Home for Christmas. Let's see, I didn't do it exactly as called for. It's, I don't remember. And then, so that's a Bent Creek, actually. Yeah, that's a Bent Creek. I'll Be Home for Christmas. I did this one on 18 count with pearl cotton and had it framed. I'll show that closer to Christmas when I get out my stuff to decorate for Christmas. I'd really love to do this one too. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm probably going to do that one on 18 count linen. But you know, there's got these little, you have everything from, you know, larger things to little ornaments. And then this is a more of my more recent ones. Let me just double check the year. This is 2008. Let's see, what are some, oh, I remember what I wanted to show in this one. It even has some more modern stuff some years. It's around 2008, sort of the 50s, early 60s retro, pink and bright green, sort of chartreuse colors were popular. I know I got a couple of Raymond Crawford needlepoint canvases around that time that were in those colors. And then still have, you know, more traditional stuff. Kitty cats. Let me see, is there anything else here? But still, you know, like hardanger. Beautiful hardanger piece that I obviously marked. Oh, and then I marked this nativity. I don't know if I'll ever stitch it. Or the hardanger piece. I would love to. I've done a little bit of hardanger. Madonna and Child, it's another thing I like to do, with some black work around it. Not sure I'll ever actually stitch that one now. Too much back stitching. One thing I like about primitives, not just the look, but no back stitching. So that was Timeless Treasures, excuse me, Treasured Memories. I don't think I showed the cover, from 2008. And then this is the latest one that I have. And this is, oh, why did I think it was 2013? Oh, maybe because I have 13 of them. So the last year I bought these were 2009. Oh, 2013 was, I think, the year for the one that Emily C. had found. And I found it also and decided it was way too expensive. So this is Handmade Holiday. I love this cover, the one on the cover. I would love to stitch that for my husband. There's actually quite a few. I don't know why I decided to stop getting them, because I think there was a couple years where there wasn't much in it I really liked. But then this last one that I got, see, a snow globe and gingerbread. Well, it looks like a gingerbread house to me. And speaking of gingerbread houses, gingerbread, these are beaded on perforated paper, so you can make them into, oh, let's see, where was that cat? So another penguin, a stocking. Ah, here's the very modern kitty cat. I have very eclectic taste, but it's a kitty cat, so why not? And there's some other ones later on. Oh, I would probably change the colors, but let me see if I can find, here we go. Teapots. I love teapots. And then I don't know, for some reason I was really drawn to this very sparse Christmas tree, and that they finished it like as a cover for something. Probably wouldn't do that. I think I just kind of liked it was that, you know, not traditional colors. But anyway, so I might show some more of these in my next video, when I show some more of my winter/Christmas stitchery. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing my stitching, my haul. I don't even know what I'm going to call this episode. There was just so much. Anyway, so this is sort of like digging in the stash from, you know, stuff that's been in there a while. I've been trying to show a little bit from my stash. I had some other things that I could show, but actually thinking about in the future doing something with samplers, because I've got a lot of books and not a ton of charts, but some charts and a few samplers that I started many years ago, that like 20 for one of them. Oh my God. Anyway, so that's something else to talk about, for things to think about for 2021. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed Thanksgiving if you're in the United States, or elsewhere, and celebrate it. We had just me and my husband, and we had a lovely turkey dinner, and so time to get back to work, unfortunately, and finish off the semester. Anyway, I hope you have had time to be kind to yourself recently, especially this week, and please be kind to your neighbors. I'll see you in a couple weeks. I'm hoping I can stick to this every 2-week schedule, especially now that, as I mentioned in my last video, I'm giving myself permission to not do show notes. So if there's something that you saw that you'd like more information on and I haven't put anything down below, feel free to leave a comment or email me at scienceknitster@gmail.com. And I will get back to you with the information that you need. Also, feel free to ask questions, either about my stitching or about sciencey things, and hopefully that can be used in a future Science Corner. So again, thanks again for joining me, and have a wonderful 2 weeks. Bye.